Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here with my frames. Now these are some frames that I've put into my Etsy shop. They may also be on my website, which is the shabbydabbydoodah.co.uk. If they are on there, they will be slightly cheaper than the Etsy shop. Purely because obviously I don't have to pay the fees or anything on my website. So if you're interested, then do go over and have a look. Now they are basically some shabby chic frames. Now I can't remember, but I think they're 8 pages download. So you get all different kind of frames. Now some are subtly different, some are, you know, vastly different, different colours and things. But yeah, hopefully kind of enough to have a lot of fun with and a bit of a play with. Now you get them on this gorgeous background, which I thought was quite nice to make a, you know, different kind of piece of ephemera. So you get them on the background and you also get some obviously not on a background. So I thought let's come along and have a bit of a play with the ones not on the background today, and we might come back and have a play with the ones on the background as well. But yeah, I thought let's come along first of all and have a play with these. Now these are, like I say, shabby chic kind of colours, and they're all different you know, colours and varieties and things. And what I've got here, now this was some pages from a vintage book that I had. And as you can see, they're these gorgeous botanical plates. But they're kind of like, oh, what would I describe them? They're like they've been drawn in felt tip pen. I don't know if you can see that. But so to be honest, I felt like they would possibly get a little bit lost if they were on just a... you know, if I fussy cut them out and put them on a tag or something like that, because they actually are, yeah, of this kind of delicate nature, looking a bit more like a felt tip pen. I thought that then they will lose the original kind of quality that they seem to look when they're here flat on the page, which, you know, they look lovely. So I didn't want to lose that. So I thought this would be perfect to use with some of my frames. So I'm just going to cut out a few, and then we can, you know, get going using some of these. Now I'm going to obviously cut some of these off screen so that I'm not just boring you all with my fussy cutting, but I just wanted to give you a bit of a tip really. So I'll take this frame here because it's nice and, you know, nice and square and easy to cut out with you guys. So I'm just cutting the frame out. Now what I would do to cut out the inside, of course you could use your craft knife, and you know, that's absolutely fine. However, if like me, you're not brilliant with a craft knife, I'm not brilliant with a craft knife, what you could do is cut in and kind of mitre this. So I'm going to ink it up first, and the reason why I'm inking it up first is just because once I've mitred it, you're going to have a sort of well, a cut piece, and I don't want the ink clogging where I've cut the paper, and you'll see exactly what I mean in a second. So I've inked up the edge, and then what I will do is I will go in here exactly where it would be mitered, so in the corner like that, and then go round, and you can cut out then your inside of your frame. Now I personally am not great with a craft knife, so for me this is just easier and quicker than, you know, fiddling about with a craft knife and actually then possibly not getting, you know, results that I'm sort of that happy with. So this for me works better, and I haven't made a very good job of this. So what was I talking about? What was I just saying about me finding this easier? But yeah, I do still find it easier than a craft knife. There we go. Now, when you glue this down, that little mitered corner will be completely hidden. You know, once you've glued that down, you won't even notice that you've done that. So I just find this a little bit of a sort of quick trick to use that will be easy to get the middle of the frame out. So can you see that? Once it's glued down, that will be completely hidden. So if I just go to a flower where I think it's going to look good. So, I mean, it doesn't look too bad on that one. That one. Oh, that's quite nice actually. Let's just have a quick flick through. Oh, that's quite lovely actually. Right, okay, so I'm going to go for this one. So I might tear this whole page out because it might be just easier to get at. These pages, they're kind of, yeah, slightly thicker than, you know, they're not kind of really thin, flimsy bit page. They're good, you know, good thickness. So like that, and then that will just glue down all over the top of there. So just going to go round. Oops. Glue that down. And obviously you do want to go like all around your mitered edge so that you do actually glue it down. So you see there I've put a bit more glue just where that mitered edge is going to be. And then that can just go straight down on that flower. Obviously then you can, you know, just adjust the edge kind of as needed to glue that down like that. Okay. There we go. Oops. Press that down. And that's then an absolutely perfect frame. You can't see that mitered part at all. I don't know whether it would work, you know, equally as well if you went sort of in the middle of a frame. You know, I don't know. I've only ever kind of mitered at the edges, but definitely, you know, that works absolutely perfectly. Now down here, I've just got these names of the flowers. I mean, I can't even see what that says. Jamanda or something. I mean, definitely not a flower I've ever heard of, but anyway. So I'm going to just take that. Now I will, I think, ink it up slightly. Like that. Okay. And just, oops, cut that down. Like that. Right, keep that. Ooh, keep that to one side. That's the type of thing that I lose normally. So then you can go back in and cut around your frame again. Now, if I were cutting one of the quite fussy ones, I wouldn't want to have to then cut it twice. So what I would probably do is I would glue not right to the edge of the frame. And then I would go in and sort of cut around on the inner section so that I wasn't having to go right to the edge. But isn't that just so gorgeous? And then you can just pop the little name down there like that. So, oops. Oh my gosh. No, got that completely over to one side. Oh my goodness. Oh, come on. Oh my gosh. This is not very good. That's very fiddly for me, that little tiny word. It's, yeah, it's quite tiny. There we go. How gorgeous does that look? And then that's just perfect then to pop onto, you know, a topper or, oops, pop onto a tag, anything you like. But isn't that just so beautiful? And to be honest, you know, it just makes a bit more of images like this. And you've probably all got, you know, a few images like this that, you know, I don't know about you, but sometimes I buy the book and then I think, oh, what should I do with those? Just literally that simple, quick thing. And that's transformed that. So really, really, really lovely, isn't it? So I'm going to cut out a few of the frames. Now, I will just quickly demonstrate one that's kind of a bit fussier. So let's do the pink fussy one here. Just so that I can demonstrate that that method of the mitering, you know, works no matter the shape of the frame. So let's just go around here like that. Okie dokie. Like that. Cut that down. Okie dokie. Like that. Okay. Now remember, we inked around this before we mitered the corner, so you know, and these are just little tips really. I mean, they're not kind of hard and fast rules, but you know, I just know that I've done things like this before where, you know, I've maybe mitered the corner and then I've inked it, and then of course the ink just kind of congregates, you know, where the cut, you know, the cut corner is. So then just cut in to the corner like that, and then just go round your edge like that, like that. Okie dokie. And that piece there. Okay. And again, that will obviously glue, you know, perfectly into that corner. So let's just find another little flower that is going to look quite cute on. I mean, it looks quite pretty onto there, although there's probably some pink flowers. So let's just have a quick flick through, that it will maybe look better on. No, not that one. I mean, that one's quite pretty. That one's pretty. I don't know now. Have a quick click. That's pretty. That one is. Oh, I was hoping that there would be some that were definite pink flowers. And would you believe? No, not so far. I mean, I'm sure there must be somewhere in here, but... Ah, there we go. There we go. I knew there must be one. So I'm just going to tear this page out now as well. So honestly, I've been hoarding these for such a long time. And yeah, I was kind of intending on scanning them in and things like that. But to be honest, like I said before, although, you know, they're the reason why I bought the book in the first place, because I was like, oh my goodness, look at those. Actually, when I then sort of really examined them, oops, they're not necessarily, you know, that, I'm not saying that usable, but, you know, they're not that great when they're kind of like, oops, taken out of the context of being on the page, if you see what I mean. So, you know, oops, what I had thought that I would use them for then became a bit, you know, oh, actually they're not going to really work for that. So just glue that down. Now this one, again, I'm just going to show you what I meant by, you know, when I said about the, you know, if you've got an irregular shaped frame. So I'm going to just go in here. Now what I did, I didn't glue down to the edge of that frame, if you see what I mean. So I'm just going to take it down here. So as I've got the word, not the word, but the name of the flowers. So I didn't glue right to the edge of the frame, whereas this one, I took the glue right up to the edge. So I can then get my scissors in sort of behind the frame, if that makes sense. So then when I'm cutting it down, I'm just cutting it down like that. Okay. And that one. And obviously, you know, I mean, obviously that's not straight or anything else. It's very wonky. It doesn't matter, because actually you can't see the back of it. So then just glue it down like that. And if you're a bit worried that it's kind of like, you know, coming up or anything, obviously once you come to use these and you glue them down onto something, they'll be, you know, completely protected then. I mean, I can't even tell where the mitered corner was on that one. I literally couldn't remember where it was, but I've just seen it from the back. It's there. But it fits together perfectly and, you know, just works perfectly. So again, just take the little nameplate of the flower itself. Oops, like that. Again, just ink that up a bit. I mean, you don't really have to ink it if you don't want to, but I think that does, you know, kind of make more of it. So, hello, Bo. Do you want to come in, sweetie? And then that can just be glued down, just down there, like that. Okay, now I've not bothered inking the flowers or anything, you know, the actual book page pieces themselves. Obviously it is a, you know, this is a vintage book, so I'm not saying they're discoloured, but they're not, you know, they're not stark white or anything like that. But there we go. How gorgeous does that look? Absolutely love, love, love how that looks. Okay, so I'm going to just cut out some of the other frames, and then I will be back. Right, so I've cut out quite a few more now, and I've cut out the centres. Now, I cut out the centres here of these ones with the oval centres, like you can see. And I used exactly the same method. So just kind of went in on the mitre corner, and then just, you know, followed the lines around to cut out the centre of the circle. So, you know, it works exactly the same, whether it's a rectangle or whether it's an oval, or, you know, whatever shape it is. I mean, obviously, you know, the easiest ones are, of course, the, you know, the rectangular ones. But I just wanted to kind of demonstrate that obviously, you know, you could do exactly the same with the ovals as you can with the rectangles. Now, can you see my deliberate mistake? No, not deliberate, but yes, my mistake. You know, after all that, keep saying, oh, you know, ink first, because if you don't, you know, the ink might just get clogged where you've mitered. Guess what? I forgot to ink any of them. What an idiot. So, yeah, it's a kind of do as I say, not as I do kind of scenario. So, yeah, I just forget my head if it wasn't screwed on. What can I say? Just rubbish, rubbish, rubbish for remembering anything. Even when I've just literally, just that second said it, I straight away forget exactly what I've been saying. So, right, so that's those. Now, I've also got some images here from, this was from that Chelle book of paintings. I've used this book quite a bit because I do really like these images. Now, you can probably see these are glossy. So, although this is vintage, as they would call it, because it's kind of like over 20 years old, it's not, you know, this matte kind of finish that this book is. This is, you know, obviously matte, although now I'm saying that these leaves look like they do have a slight sheen just in the middle of the leaves, which is a bit weird. But anyway, definitely a much more matte paper than this, obviously, which is, you know, more shiny. So what I've done, I've also got some of the sewing pattern paper that I thought we could put down over the top of the pictures, which will just tone them right down, so that then when they're framed, they're not this sheeny. Do you see what I mean? And they're obviously not black and white, which, you know, is quite nice then, you know, when you're going for obviously a sort of vintage look. So let's just take some of the sewing pattern paper. Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use Mod Podge to pop it down onto the pictures. So I'm going to put that one on there, and then I've got a couple of others. Oops. So I've got this one here. Just want to see. Yeah, hopefully I should have enough to be able to do a couple. Oops, from what's left. So yeah, that one. And then, oops. Which one? I'm not sure how big my holes are, if you see what I mean. So let's just see. Oh, they're going to be fine actually, either, whichever way I do it. So yeah. Should we go with her or shall we go with him? I think we'll go with her. Right, so, whoops. Just going to get my Mod Podge. Now this also has got like a right and a wrong side, so just want to kind of like hopefully try and get it on the right side. Right, now got my Mod Podge here. I'm just going to, oops. Oh no, I've got Mod Podge in my dress. Oh my goodness. What on earth is going on? Now I'm going to be super messy. I'm just going to use my finger just to put the sewing pattern paper down. Oops. Like that. And to be honest, you know, you don't even have to make sure this is wrinkle free. It's all fine. Any way is absolutely fine. So like that. And like I say, this actually then gives it quite a sort of vintage look straight away. So, you know, you've gone from that kind of black and white sheeny image, you know, that's very much obviously out of a book of more recent times, to, you know, now it looks a little bit like it's a canvas from, you know, from vintage times. So vintage times, you know, from days gone by anyway. So yeah, it's quite a good little trick, you know, to get your images looking quite vintage anyway. So oops, you know, without inking or anything, it's a little way of getting your images looking much more aged. So there we go. I've not made a very good job of this one, but in fact I've made a terrible job of this one. I don't know quite what's going on there. Hopefully it will dry fine, but yeah, don't know what went on there, whether I, oh, who knows, not quite sure, but anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. So, and then this one, I'm just going to try and spread my Mod Podge out a little bit better than I did on that last one, because I obviously did not make a very good job of putting it down. There we go, that's better. Okay, so I suspect that what's happened on that other one, I probably went a bit thick in maybe one or two places with the Mod Podge. That's fine. There we go. And just pop the lid on. Right, so take our frames. So I might use this one. Actually, I'm just thinking, just in case I want to do any more of the flowers, that green's a really good one, isn't it, to do on the flowers? So let's check. I'm not sure I can even use this one, to be honest, because I'm not sure whether that's just overload of Mod Podge or just, yeah, I don't know what I did there, but I did not make a very good job, and now I can't really see half the image. So I might leave that one, but definitely we can use this one. Let's just see. Not on that one. Let's just check out. Okay, so she'll be quite good on that frame, and then this one, yeah, oh my goodness, isn't that lovely? Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this down slightly. And again, you know, just like that irregular frame, you really don't have to worry too much how you're cutting this, because it's obviously going to be hidden on the back of the frame. So, you know, don't worry too much. But isn't that just absolutely gorgeous? I love how that looks. So, right, let's ink up this. This was one of the ones that obviously I forgot to ink, and so I just need to be a bit careful that I don't pick up too much on that mitered corner. Like that, okay. Then we can glue this one down. So now, just going to go in here slightly. Right. So what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to go on the outer edge. Oops. On the outer edge of the actual picture here, like that. Oops. Like that. And then on the frame itself, just go like on the inner ring, the inner edge, like that. Again, this mitered corner, it will glue together, and then when you glue it to use it on something, it will be properly, you know, properly held together. So don't worry too much that we've not kind of overly put a load of glue in that mitered edge. It will be fine. Okay. Press that down, And then just, yeah, squish your mitered edge together, making sure that it is glued together. Because obviously, you know, where we're not going right to the edge of the paper there, it's just quite important to make sure that you've, you know, smooshed it together. Otherwise it won't be together. And then, of course, it's going to be hard to get it together when you come to use it. So, well, not hard, but yeah, probably impossible. So, isn't that gorgeous? So can you see that, you know, completely kind of different look to obviously if we put that on the black and white image. It looks quite vintage, doesn't it? Absolutely lovely. So I'll just put that to one side, and then let's just quickly do this one. So again, another one that yep, silly me, forgot to ink the edge. So we just go round, inking the edge, mind the mitered corner. Okay, right. So I'm just going to, again, cut this image down. Just because it's obviously easier to cut it down roughly, you know, than be dealing with this big piece of paper. So, like that. And up there. Just get in there, okay. And then I'm just going to cut it down again a little bit more on this edge. Okay, right. Okay, looking good. So, I mean, looking good. When I say looking good, it's looking terrible, but it's all going to be hidden under the frame, so it's all fine. So there we go. Okie dokie. Right. And the other thing is, obviously, once you've you know, covered these with that sewing pattern paper, they feel really nice and vintage too, because they have a bit of a feel of like a canvas, you know. So gone is the, you know, the glossy book page feel. They feel more now like a sort of, you know, an actual canvas. So there we go. Again, squish that in the mitered corner and then just press it down. Okay, like that. Oh my goodness, how gorgeous does that look? So again, just check your corners all, you know, oops, tucked in nicely, like that. Oops. Oh, come on. There we go. Like that. Don't know what's going on that edge, but yeah, just there we go. Isn't that gorgeous? Absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? So yeah, they are those ones which look absolutely lovely, don't they? Just going to do one or two more of the flowers. I don't think the flowers would benefit from the sewing pattern paper, but let's just have a quick look, because they might go too dark then. You know, I said before, they're not sort of the clearest images. You know, they look a little bit like they've been painted, you know, or made with felt tip pen. I mean, they haven't. Well, who knows? Maybe they had, but I doubt they had felt tip pen, to be honest, back in the day, but who knows? Yeah. Do you know when felt tips were invented? If you happen to know that, please do share below, because I've got not a clue. When was the felt tip invented? I mean, to me, that feels like it's like a 70s type of thing, but probably way before then, who knows? Yeah, I don't know. No idea. Yeah, can you see there? I mean, that just possibly going to be a bit too dark. I think it looks better like that. But, you know, definitely a great trick to use for the... perhaps we'll have it on that one. Definitely a brilliant trick to use for the, you know, the black and white kind of book page images, particularly when they're like a bit glossy. It's a really good you know, good trick to use. So there we go. Right. Again, go in here. So again, this is another one of those curly frames. So I'm just going to glue it down like that. And then I've just glued, you know, on the sort of inside edge of the flower. So when I cut the image out, I'll be able to get my scissors in, you know, behind the frame and hopefully kind of tidy it up like that. So like that. Oops, definitely cut a bit near that, you know, the, what are those things called? You know, like the title plates. Don't know what they're called. Okay, let's just go in like that. Oh my gosh, doesn't that look so pretty? Absolutely love, love, love how that looks. Right, let's just cut out the... I mean, this one, it seems even tinier than ever. Don't know what that says. Black something or other. Million or something. I don't know. What a strange name, because that's a yellow flower. Not black at all. But yeah, for some reason called black something. Weird. Very weird. Okay. So we'll just put that one down there. I mean, I always think, like, you know, like in art galleries, they have these little placard bits, don't they, on the paintings. So they look a bit like that, I think. Which looks really cute, doesn't it? Really, really cute. Now, the other thing that you can then obviously do once you've got your gorgeous images in the frames, you can obviously, you know, decorate them up. So I've got here some lace. You could just like pop some lace around. Oops. Just, you know, have it even poking out behind. Like that. That looks quite cute, doesn't it? Might just tear it down. Oh my goodness, I'm starving hungry. It's not even anywhere near lunchtime and I have had breakfast, but I had a smoothie, which trying to be healthy, but it's obviously not really filled me up today. So yeah, I think just ink that up actually. Oh, I can't decide. I think let's have it on here. So I'm going to just glue it down here. Okay. Like that. How gorgeous is that looking? Absolutely lovely. Yeah, really, really pretty. Oops. Just dab that into the glue. Not good. And then I did bring some little flower trims along. Oh, I didn't bring yellow. What an idiot. Oh. Yeah, I bought some flower trims along. Let me just have a look. I have got some yellow somewhere. So, I mean, you could even put like some little flower trims on here. Okay. I do have the trim packs in my shop as well at the moment. So if you were looking for some little flower trims, then I've got those in my shop at the minute. So just look quite pretty, don't they? And the trim packs, they come with the black bling in them as well. So they're quite nice little packs. So, yep, you can do kind of all sorts of things with these to obviously, you know, decorate them up and make them look kind of different. I mean, I don't know whether you'd be able to go right round the edge. It might be a bit much, but let's just take this one. Oh, I'm actually thinking maybe have this on that green one. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look so stunning? Really, really, really love that. Absolutely gorgeous. Really, really gorgeous. Isn't that lovely? Oh my gosh, absolutely love it. Those purpley lilac flowers, they just look perfect, don't they, with the green and then the sepia tone of the picture there in the background. Oh my gosh, they are lovely, absolutely lovely. So yeah, I mean, you can then obviously just play around and kind of add different things. I also thought another addition would be just, you know, some nice pretty butterflies. So let's just take, well, let's take these couple. Now, which colour butterflies do we think? Kind of thinking this one, but this might be too, you know, too blendy. I'll have a look. And then on the pink, again, might be too blendy, but let's have a look and see what we think to this one. Okay. I mean, I just love, love, love having little embellishment pieces ready to use in a junk journal. And, you know, these are fab for, you know, you could make old paper clips from these. You could obviously use them as topper pieces for, you know, pockets and tags and what have you. You could use them just literally as isolated pieces, you know, down on the bottom of a page, you know, anything at all. They're just lovely, aren't they? Really, really lovely. And, you know, I love anything as well that enables you to use up things that you've bought. So maybe like me, you've bought, you know, books in the past or, you know, anything else, and then you don't know quite how to use the pieces, or you kind of think, oh, what did I buy that for? You know, this just gives you the perfect opportunity to use some of those things that perhaps you've bought, and then you're thinking, oh gosh, you know, what shall I do with that? So just take this one. I mean, definitely I'm thinking, wow, this is a brilliant TV project. So, you know, you could just literally prep your black and white images. So, you know, if you've got the black and white glossy images, you could prep some of those earlier on in the day, and then you could just literally on a tray take the frames, your book images, your scissors and some glue, and then sit and just do these whilst watching TV. They'd be really, you know, the perfect thing. Perfect use of your time whilst watching TV. So, yeah, let's have that one over there. I mean, to be honest, I think they're lovely anyway. You know, they don't even necessarily need anything else. But my gosh, when you add, like, you know, the butterfly or, oops, like the flower trim, just really, really gives them like the extra ta-da, doesn't it? You know, they look completely gorgeous then. I mean, I think, like I say, they look nice anyway, but if you then put, you know, just butterfly bling, you know, any of those kinds of things, oops, just going to cut that off, it just really takes them to another level. Oops. There we go. You know, and they don't look now like those sort of insipid little pictures that were in the book, you know, that I thought, oh, how am I going to use those? They're now absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? I mean, I do love frames, always love frames anyway, but yeah. And I've tried to pick frames that are sort of, you know, hopefully quite easy to cut out and, you know, give you a good variety of different frames and things like that. So, and then obviously once you've done them, you could then use them on. Now, I'm not saying this is a perfect item because of course it's not really the right colour, but just to give you an example, that would be it on a tag. that one. I mean, aren't they just gorgeous? You know, and that's not even something that actually goes on at all, is it? But, oh my gosh, don't they look lovely? I mean, actually, that one goes lovely on there, doesn't it? I mean, the only thing is I can see now what's going to happen. I'm going to want to hoard these because, yeah, I don't now want to be using them, which is the irony. So that's those on some tags. Let me see if I've got any little pockets or anything that I could just demonstrate them on. Oh, have I? No. Oh, I don't believe it. How have I not got pockets here? I've always got pockets stuffed in the little thing behind beside my desk. Oh, here we go. So, I mean, these probably aren't, you know, aren't ideal, but just to kind of show you, I mean, you could even put them on a pocket like this and they'd be like overhanging here. So, you know, you'd just glue it to that point and it would be like a raised piece on the pocket. Or, of course, you know, you could glue it up there. I mean, I would cover up the birds completely rather than just have like a little bit of bird hanging out. I'd cover it up like that. But aren't they just so gorgeous? I mean, they're really, really, really pretty, aren't they? So, yeah, I can just tell these are going to be obviously my project for probably the rest of today, actually. Maybe use up all of those book pages with the flowers and things like that. So, yeah, and obviously aside from using them as little topper pieces, you could, of course, make them into paper clips very easily. Just put your paper clip on the back and, you know, straight away then you've got a whole bunch of gorgeous, yummy paper clips. So tons and tons of uses for them. And yeah, I just absolutely love, love, love how they are. I think endless uses for them. So yeah, really hope that you like them. I hope you feel inspired. Really love it if you would give this video a thumbs up if you like them. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks then. Bye.